How do fears and anxieties arise from classical conditioning? An example of classically conditioning a fear would be Watson's famous experiment, which created a fear in a child who went by Little Albert. Little Albert was conditioned to fear white rats and also to fear other objects with white fur. Initially, he was not afraid of white rats until Watson paired the rat with something naturally frightening, such as a loud noise. Every time Little Albert faced the rat, a loud noise sounded, causing him to cry. The pairing of the loud noise and the white rat conditioned a fear of white rats. His fear then transferred to anything similar to the white rat, and that is white fur. In conclusion, when an object, person, or situation is paired with something that is naturally frightening to the subject, sooner or later the association of the two links creates a fear. How does operant conditioning help face fears? Well, fears and anxieties can be helped through operant conditioning. I'll explain some ways in which fears and anxieties can be helped. One way is by graduated exposure. This is when a child with a phobia is placed near the feared object and is rewarded by being able to do something enjoyable, such as playing with a favorite toy. A second way is by deep breathing and muscle relaxation. By taking long, deep breaths, muscles start to relax and nerves begin to settle. A third way is by talking yourself out of self-defeating and fear-provoking thoughts. This means motivating yourself and directing your attention to positive things. A 12-week study using 79 kids ages 7 through 18 proved that children with fears and anxieties profit more from classical and operant conditioning, also known as cognitive behavioral treatment.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the sexual differences in classical conditioning. Males and females of every species retain information differently. Studies have shown that boys' and girls' brains are uniquely wired. Females' brains are shown to have more gray matter, which is computational tissue, while males' brains were shown to have more white matter, which is connective cables. In different conditions, one sex will have a biological advantage. In one study, male and female rats were tested in an artificially conditioned habitat. They both show similar results to our species. The test that was conducted was the eye blink test, where a white noise would cause an automatic blink reflex. Both delay and trace tests showed that females reacted faster than males. During numerous trials, females were still ahead in response time. Okay, now let's talk about operant conditioning. For those of you who haven't watched the TV show Super Nanny, the TV show displays the effects of advanced legal parenting. The problem is the parents struggle to control the child's socially unacceptable behavior. After diagnosis, the things that were missing were respect, responsibilities, reward, and punishment. In one scene of the show, the kid goes outside to play but refuses and resists to come back on time. The Super Nanny gives the child a set time and revokes playtime if he returns late. Later on in another scene, in a scene where the child throws a tantrum, they're isolated and put in a reflection room. The child learns his behavior is not acceptable and does not repeat it. In another scene, the child has the privilege to be with his friends if he takes a shower. The child learns that his reward goes away if he does not take a shower. These reinforcements help improve the child's decisions over time.
Operant conditioning with autism. ABA, Applied Behavioral Analysis. Young scholars were able to help kids with training exercises. Data is recorded and the programs go into different play sessions. The child is placed in an environment suited for their needs. ABA tells us that an ASD child cannot learn from a normal environment. Discrete trial training. The test consists of simple tasks like sitting in a chair. The goal is to control the child's pleasures and interests. The positive consequences are activities the kids enjoyed. The negative consequence was being told no. Results. With enough persistence, the child happily sat in his chair outside the program. The child was sitting at home.
Are you finished?
Well, thank you. How thoughtful. Would you like a chocolate?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Oh, sorry, Sheldon. I almost sat in your spot.
Did you? I didn't notice. Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
You're here a lot now.
Oh, am I talking too much? I'm sorry. Zip.
Thank you. Chocolate?
Yes, please. hold on. Let me take this in the hall. You'll never guess who they got to replace you with one.
Okay. I know what you're doing.
Really?
Yes. You're using chocolates as positive reinforcement for what you consider correct behavior.
Very good. Chocolate?
No, Sheldon, you can't train my girlfriend like a lab rat.
Actually, it turns out I can.
Well, you shouldn't.
There's just no pleasing you, is there, Leonard? You weren't happy with my previous approach to dealing with her, so I decided to employ operant conditioning techniques, building on the works of Thorndike and B.F. Skinner. Yet by this time next week, I believe I can have her jumping out of a pool, balancing a beach ball on her nose.
No, this has to stop now.
I'm not suggesting we really make her jump out of a pool. I thought the bazinga was implied. I'm just tweaking her personality, just sanding off the rough edges, if you will.
No, you're not sanding Penny.
Are you saying that I am forbidden from applying a harmless, scientifically valid protocol that will make our lives better?
Yes, you're forbidden.
Bad, Leonard. You know, using positive reinforcement techniques, I could train that behavior out of her in a week.
No.
If you let me use negative reinforcement, I can get it done before we go to bed.
You're not squirting her in the face with water.
No, of course not. We're talking very mild electric shocks. No tissue damage whatsoever.
Forget it.
Oh, come on. You can't tell me that you're not intrigued about the possibility of building a better girlfriend.
I'm not. Penny's qualities, both good and bad, are what make her who she is.
You mean like that high-pitched, irritating laugh?
Yes.
You wouldn't prefer a throaty chuckle?
You're not changing how Penny laughs.
No, that would be incongruous. No, I was going to lower the whole voice to a more pleasing register.
Sorry, guys. That girl is freaky.
Come again?
Freaky.
Freaky?
Yeah, freaky.
Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to make some warm milk and then turn in. I trust if you two are planning on engaging in amorous activities, you'll keep the decibel level to a minimum.
Of course.
Thank you.
These are so good.
Unbelievable.